Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Horse293 here with my Stab League draft analysis for Season 3. First of all, I'd like to say I'm very thankful for being in this league. I'd like to thank Stab for letting me in this league. I'm really excited to be in my first YouTube upload league, and I hope this will start a road to getting to more established leagues and basically just help my further draft league career in the future. So I'd like to thank Stab for that. Just starting off the draft analysis. So basically, coming into the draft, I really wasn't that familiar with Uber Pokemon, and every team got to draft potentially two Uber Pokemon, or basically two Uber Pokemon. You could draft one from the gold tier and one from the silver tier. The thing was, though, that Megas were also included in these tiers, and if you were to draft an Uber Mega, then you got one less regular Uber pick. So you could maybe get like one Uber Mega and then one regular Mega, or you could get two regular Ubers and then get one Mega in the Mega round. So I ended up being I ended up being the 10th pick in this draft. That was decided by a draft placement tournament. Unfortunately, I was busy the weekend in which it happened, so I wasn't there for the draft placement tournament. But so I ended up getting stuck with the 10th pick, which ideally really isn't a good pick in a 14-man draft. Yeah, this is a 14-man draft. I can talk about the roster quickly. Just going through, we got some really big names in the community, like Crobat for the win. We got TTM Jolt, we got Trev CL, and we got Stab, which are just four big names in the community. Who I'm super honored if I get to play any of them over the season. Going over basically my goals in the Stab League. It's really not to make playoffs. It's really not to win championships. My goal for the season is to improve as much as I can, so that when I start going into different leagues in the future, I can really take the skills I've learned from some high caliber players here and go on to get to the likes of great players such as Gypsy or Maddie. My goal is to eventually get there over time and through playing. Right now, what I want to do with this season is to learn as much as I can, play as hard as I can, and just put everything out there, and whatever happens, happens. I'm not gonna be. Of course, I do tend to get disappointed when I lose. Of course, I don't like to lose, but I'm not gonna beat myself up over it. I'm really just here to learn from the greats and to just play my heart out. Those are four really big coaches who are in this league. Some really great coaches here who might not be as appreciated. We got Youngster Bill, who's a really good coach. We got Balfrey, Lord Luxray, who did really well in one of the TTM qualifiers. We got Easy Bake Oven. Who else do we got? We got DJ. We got Mastodon, who's a really good battler. Really like him. We got Jay Marshadow, who's the commissioner of the developmental league. We got Travesty, who was in last season of the Stab League, and finally we got my guy Barrigo, who's just a super nice guy. So I really like everyone in this league. Everyone's super nice on Discord. I have a great time with them. I'm super happy that they let me in this league, and I hope I can do the best with what I got here. So going into the mega round, which was, as you can see from the draft analysis, was the first round. Uh, I ended up, because I was the 10th pick overall, I had let me count this out, one, two, three, four, fifth pick. Something I'd like to just mention, Trev CL and TTM Jolt ended up joining mid-draft. I know that sounds a little bit weird, but they're really big names. They were willing to join, and we were willing to insert them into our draft. They were not in the draft, I think, until the end of the second round. So just keep that in mind when I'm going through basically what I picked. So when I was looking over what megas to pick, there were really a few that came to mind. I thought Mega Metagross would be absolutely amazing, and that was probably my top option was Mega Metagross. The other option I really liked Mega Lopunny, but the thing that I really wanted to go for was get Mega Latios, who's a normal Mega in this round, pick up Marshadow as my gold tier Uber, and then pick up Magearna as my silver tier Uber. So that was basically the dream going into this draft. Other than that, there were some really nice Uber Megas I was looking at. Mega Blaziken, Mega Mewtwo X, Mega Mewtwo Y. What else is there? Mega Lucario, stuff like that. And I was really game to get those if some of the stuff I was really looking forward to ended up getting sniped. So if we look into the Uber round, Stab was the Mega round. Stab was the first pick there, and he picked Mega Mewtwo X, which was good for me because that wasn't entirely on my radar. Mega Diancie then goes, Mega Blaziken goes. And at this point, I'm thinking, okay, one more pick before me. I think I'm gonna go with Mega Metagross, and that was basically my plan. And I then see Jim, who's the pick right before me, and my heart's racing, and he types in on Discord, Mega Metagross, and Mega Metagross goes, and this is kind of where my plan breaks up, because I was going to decide between Mega Metagross and Mega Latias, but the people in my front office, as the draft was getting closer, kind of pointed out to me there's really no way I was going to be able to get Mega Latias, Marshadow, and Magearna, because looking at it, Marshadow was one of the best mods in the gold tier, and I only had the 10th, or the 8th pick, because Joel and Trev weren't there yet, in the Uber gold tier round, and I only had, again, I think the 5th pick in the Uber Silver round, and Magearna probably wasn't going to last that long, and Marshadow probably wasn't going to last that long. And I really didn't want to pick up Mega Latios in that Mega slot if I wasn't going to be able to pair it with those two, because I think Mega Latios is normally really, really good, but the fact that there's all these Ubers running around, it kind of undermines the viability of it, and I really don't think it would be entirely worth a pick. I think it's still very good, though. So once that happened, I was really having a rough time trying to decide what to pick. I really wanted to draft a really strong Uber, a really strong Mega. So what I ended up doing, and we can go to the next slide here, I ended up picking Mega Mewtwo Y as my Uber. So this basically means that I'll only, as my Mega. So this basically means that I'll only be able to get one other Uber, which I'm entirely fine with, because the sheer power that Mega Mewtwo Y has is just simply incredible. If we look at the stats of Mega Mewtwo Y just really quickly, we can see that it has okay bulk to start off with, which is really nice. It has 106 for HP, it has 120 for special defense. The only thing that's not that great is 70 defense. But now let's look at its attacking stats. 194 special attack. That is just blistering high. You've got 150 attack also, which means that Mega Mewtwo Y is a superb physical attacker. I can really bring mixed Mega Mewtwo Y. I can bring physical, I can bring special, I can really bring whatever I want any week. And then I got speed, which is blistering high at 142. Mega Mewtwo Y is just a superb mon. I really think I can put some really good, I really think I can use it really well. Its coverage is also insane. It's so many good moves. I just think this is Mega Mewtwo Y is absolutely amazing. There's even a possibility to run like a support Mega Mewtwo Y, even though I'll probably be trying to sweep with it almost every week. So after I took Mega Mewtwo Y, I ended up missing out on the gold tier Uber round. So all of the gold tier Ubers went, and it ended up getting into the silver tier round again. At this point, I was thinking maybe I should take Magearna, but of course, Stab took Magearna, pick one in the silver round. So there goes Magearna. And now I'm thinking, I want to build most of this draft around Mega Mewtwo Y. Because I think Mega Mewtwo Y has the ability to sweep almost every single team in this draft with the needed support with this Mewtwo. So I ended up picking a mon that I don't know if is one of the best silver tiers Ubers when just looking at it by itself, but when paired with Mewtwo, I think it's superb. We ended up picking with our second pick, Tapu Lele. I don't know how I personally feel about Tapu Lele as a mon by itself. I personally don't think it should have been banned if it wasn't for its ability to be paired with something like Mega Mewtwo Y. Because the idea is the Tapu Lele Mega Mewtwo Y core is basically the same thing as the Tapu Lele Mega Alakazam core, just better. And we've seen people like Danza, for example, in MPL season I believe it was MPL season 5. No, no, I think it was MPL season 6, and Danza was able to use that course very, very well, almost getting a playoff run in that season. So I think that's a really, really strong core. I don't really know if I'm gonna be able to use Tapu Lele really well, just being completely honest. I think I'm more going to be using it as maybe a support set with, like, setting up screens and, like, launching off in Nature's Madness, and then bringing Mega Mewtwo Y in and just trying to sweep with it. I think that most of the Tapu Lele sets you're going to be seeing from me, because really Tapu Lele is on this team to set up Mega Mewtwo Y, and that's really the main reason that I'm having Tapu Lele here. Pertaining to nicknames, I'm going to be announcing that as they come in through each battle. I'm not 100% with the nicknames right now. I can't announce if the Mon will be shiny or not. I think Mega Mewtwo Y will be shiny and Tapu Lele will be shiny. I'll continue to announce that as that happens. So now that all the Ubers were picked, we move into the normal draft. So basically, how the normal draft works is it's 8 rounds of free drafting, except you get a 9th extra round if you ended up only drafting one Ubermon. And because I only drafted one, I am going to be one of the 5 teams that's going to be in the round 9. Uh, so that's cool. So now I'm going to be able to have 9 free picks. My plan with this first pick, and what I really wanted with my first pick, was Celesteela. I think Celesteela is probably the best modern draft right now. I think it's amazing. A steel type is really pivotal to a good draft team. It has amazing coverage. It can easily sweep a team. It can be bulky. It's basically like a steel Mega Mewtwo Y if you actually think of it. And I was really looking forward to using Celesteela. And then Celesteela is taking pick 1 by Danza. And Danza and I made jokes of, like, me drafting a Bombasnow and trading it for Celesteela. But, like, I kind of didn't expect Celesteela to get to me. I was hoping it would. Uh, so from that point, the plan was really to take Weavile plus Infernape. Neither of those two really feel like first round picks, though. Me being like the new I am in draft format really wasn't comfortable with that, because I really wanted to, like, draft a team that looked acceptable. And I think that was one of my problems coming into the draft. I don't play like standard players. I play a more hyper offensive route where I go punch for punch. And I think I was more going with this draft. I think drafting Weavile plus Infernape would have really helped me here. But I was kind of blinded by the fact that I wanted to get that shiny Mon for that shiny Mon in round 1 of the regular draft. Uh, and basically, I told myself and one of my really good friends that if Landorus Therian somehow gets to me in the 8th pick, I'm taking that. And we get to the 8th pick, and Landorus Therian is still there. So this now brings up a dilemma. My plan originally was I was going to pick Weavile round 1, Infernape round 2, but now Landorus is sitting right there. Landorus is in Smogon, it's absolutely amazing. It's also absolutely amazing in draft. Z moves off it are incredibly powerful. With Intimidate, it can wall tons of stuff. It has Stealth Rocks now. It is Defog too. It can easily set up knockoff. It's a really good support mon, and it's a really good, like, non-support mon too. Like, Lando is just I really adore Lando. I think it could really do a lot of things this season if I was to draft it. But again, it comes down to the idea: do I draft it or not? And I ended up, for having that thirst to get a Mon that's basically thought of as a round 1 Mon, I ended up picking Landorus because of that. So Lando is added to the squad. But before I made this Lando pick, I was really worried that Jim was going to snipe Weavile from me. I don't know if it was because I thought it fit really well with his team currently, which was Rayquaza and Mega Metagross. I think it was mostly because I thought that it fit really well. I also thought Stab, who had Mega Mewtwo X and Magearna, Weavile also fit really, really well there. I really wanted to use Weavile this season. So, I Barrigo, who I was mentioning before, he was 2 picks after me. So there's me, Jim, Barrigo, Travesty, Stab, and then it comes back around. So I approached Barrigo and I asked him, "Hey, dude, could you pick Weavile for your 2nd round pick, and then I will pick whatever you want in the 2nd round, and then we can trade right after the draft, and we can basically get the mons we want. Barrigo, being the stand-up guy he is, super nice guy, says, "Of course, I'll help you out, dude." Risking his own second-round pick to help me get Weavile. I really appreciate that, Barrigo. Thank you so much for doing that. So at that point, I rest easy that I'm probably gonna get Lando T and Weavile, and then I was planning to pick Infernape up in the third round, which now looking back at it was kind of idiotic, thinking Infernape would get to the third round. That's what I thought at the time. Uh, so Jim ends up taking Tapu Bulu, and then Barriga messages me, and he says Stab might be taking Weavile, which is something that I kind of overlooked. But Barriga, being even more stand up, says, "I will take Weavile round 1 for you." So Barrigo just comes in. He's the true MVP. He takes Weavile round 1 for me, and at that point, I've locked up the Weavile pick. So we have Landorus, Therian, and Weavile now on the team. I can take the time to talk about. Actually, I'll talk about Weavile once we get to the second round. Uh, Coming back around, Barrigo tells me what he wants. Barrigo wants Toxapex with his pick. Uh, I was planning to have Weavile on the slide because Weavile is really part of the team, but pertaining to Stab League rules, we're not allowed to trade till after week 1. So technically, Toxapex is on my team right now, and Weavile is on his team right now. I'm not really going to talk about Toxapex because there might be some workings. It's not going to come to any matches for me. And Barrigo's not going to bring Weavile to any of his matches. So I'm really just going to talk about Weavile during this area. So I have a league that I run with my friends called the HMPL. Shout out to the HMPL. And in that league in season 1, I drafted Weavile. It was a free draft. It was sitting there in round 6. I never really liked Weavile, but I heard a lot of people saying that it was really good in format. I was thinking, it's not that versatile, so how can it be that good? But the thing is, and this is something I quickly realized when playing draft, a mon doesn't have to be versatile to be good. If it does one job and it does that one job really, really well, then it's basically also a really, really good mon. So Weavile can just come in and press knockoff, press Icicle Crush, Ice Shard, Poison Jab, Iron Head, stuff like that, and it still decimates teams with that. And I really just like the speed of Weavile. I think it's really nice to be Ghost types right now because Ghost types beat Tapu Lele and Mega Mewtwo Y, and Weavile is also really pivotal to my team because Psychic Terrain is up. So I need something to be able to take out the Psychic types that can come in and let's say Mega Mewtwo Y is down at like 15%, and it just swept a few mons in Psychic Terrain. A person could come in with like the Reuniclus, launch off a Psychic, kill Mega Mewtwo I, and then proceed to sweep my team. But now I have Weavile who can come in and just stop that from happening. So that's something I really like with that dynamic. So that was really a pick I just really wanted. Infernape ended up going in round 1, if no one knew that. I'm kind of kicking myself. I think I should have took Infernape as my first pick, but I really would have never saw that coming. I don't think I ever would have thought Infernape would go round 1. That never crossed my mind at all. So I really can't be that mad for not picking up Infernape because I really just didn't know that it was going to be taken. So now coming around into the third round, I was really having a hard time deciding what to pick. And I'm talking with my front office, and I have a good pal named BML. And he starts telling me about this one mon that works really well in terrains. I've seen Randy in the GBAD League use this mon really well with Tapu Koko in terrain. So I was wondering if I could see how it would work with Tapu Lele. And I think I took this mon way too early, but BEML kept on telling me that's pivotal to my draft plan. It can easily sweep teams, and then it's like kind of broken in format when there's a terrain. So I ended up picking Halucha in the third round, and I can agree with a lot of people. This was picked very, very early. I think it would have lasted a few more rounds. I was just really scared Jim was going to pick it with Tapu Bulu. Unfortunately, my whole front office and I are kind of dumb. We didn't realize that Psychic Seed boosts special defense, which is kind of a problem. But at the same time, I think it's still really good with the special defense boost. It's probably not as good as with Grassy Seed or Electric Seed, but I still think it's a really good mon. The ability to just sweep teams with this mon is insane, because with Unburden, it reaches just blistering high speeds where nothing can really outspeed it, and then it just launches off acrobatics and high jump kicks, and easily has the ability to sweep teams. So, right now, at this point in the draft, I looked at my draft and I was thinking, okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mons that can all sweep a team. I can bring them in late game, I can win. So what I really wanted to focus on for the rest of this draft was really the bulk, just to basically just to glue together these 5 mods to be able to sweep. So that was really my plan, because I want these 5 mods any given week to have any one of the 5, except maybe Tapu Lele. I'm probably not going to try to like sweep with that, but have any of the other 4 mods be able to win any week. So that basically leads me to my next pick, which I think was really pivotal, and I think got a really nice buff in Ultra Sun and Moon, which is Rotom Wash. I was never really a fan of Rotom Wash back in Gen 6, but I think my opinion has really changed on it. Uh, Volt Switch is just so nice with Lando T. Getting a slow Volt Switch into Lando T, allowing it to get Intimidate up on something, and then just coming in freely, setting up a Rock Polish, setting up a Swords Dance, setting something up like that, and then just proceeding to sweep is super nice with Lando T. A slow Volt Switch is actually really nice with almost everything on my team. Having defog now too is really nice for my team. Because now I have a solid 3 defoggers. It's overall just a nice mon. It can set up screens. It has priority in the Sucker Punch, Trick, Will-O-Wisp. It just provides a lot of support that I needed for my team, and I generally just really like it with the flow of my team. I think it works really well, and I just really like Rotom with this team, and at this point, I was really digging my draft. I thought it was a really strong draft, and I was really proud of it. And I think the next few picks is where it starts to go a little bit downhill in my books. Uh, I am a hyper offensive player, and I think when I was drafting here, I really should have stuck to those roots. And I shouldn't have tried to go with mons that fill the like. I shouldn't have tried to go with mons that, like, fill the roles I needed. I more should have gone with what I think I could work the best with. Because while it's awesome to fill up all those roles you need, while it's awesome to fill up your Dragon Fairy Steel core, while it's awesome to fill up your Fire Water Grass core, that really means nothing if you can't use the mods in those cores well. And even I would honestly be more fine with a draft that was ranked really low that I can use well than a draft that was ranked high that I can't use well. So like that was something that I really think I should be able to keep in mind for the future. With my next pick, I ended up picking Fortress, and I think this was my first mistake in this draft. Uh, Fortress is an interesting mon. It adds another 4 times weakness, which at this point is starting to become a problem. Because I have Landorus Therian, which gets bopped by ice types. I have Weavile, which gets bopped by fighting types. And now I have Fortress, which gets bopped by fire types. Fortress was really grabbed in a frantic effort to get a steel type. My plan was to pick Scizor up earlier, but with Tapu Lele setting up the psychic terrain, Scizor really loses a lot of viability. Uh, Fortress in essence is also really picked just because it can set up spikes, T-spikes, and stealth rocks. Hazards with my team is destructive because if I can get those stuff up and then come in with any of my sweepers, I can end up just winning really. If I can get up 3 layers of spikes plus stealth rocks with my fortress, come in with Mega Mewtwo Y, come in with Landa, I can win almost any given week. Fortress can also run a lot of heat sets. We got Autotomize here. Explosion should be fun in this earthquake. Again, light screen and reflect, which is really nice for my team. Rock Ball at Fortress, GG. It also has Volt Switch, which is one really big reason I wanted to grab it because Switch Initiative is so nice with this team, especially with slow Volt Switch again with Fortress. The only thing is I don't know how I'm really going to handle these 4 times weaknesses, and I think that will be a problem for me. As you can see, I ended up actually grabbing one more 4 times weakness by the end. Right now I can just note You're probably going to be seeing a few trades or free agency transactions throughout the season for me, because I personally don't think this team is up to really a great standard that I normally hold most of my teams to. So just keep that in mind. With the next pick, I decided that I really wanted to have a hard-hitting fire type here. Infernape was really going to be pivotal to my draft plan because it first of all nukes those ice types that allow Landorus to now go ahead and sweep, which I felt was important for me. Infernape was also going to be pivotal because to get rid of those dark types for Mewtwo. I now had Hawlucha for that, so I started looking through fire types I was going to pick. The dream was to get Heatran plus Hawlucha at that third and fourth round. I was going to take Hawlucha first and then Heatran, but Jim snipes me again with that Heatran pick. He picked Heatran in round 3. So I ended up not getting Heatran there, which again put me into the frantic spot where I had to go ahead and pick Fortress, and which led me to go ahead and pick Blacephalon. Blacephalon is a really good mon with Mind Blown, Flame Charge, and Beast Boost. Most importantly, it really has the ability to sweep a lot of teams. This is going to be the final sweeping mon that you're going to see on my team. I know I said after Hawlucha that was kind of the extent of sweeping mons on my team, but I decided to get one more really offensive mon, sticking true to my hyper offensive personality and building style. And I thought Cephalon would work really well, basically with my playing style here. I like Blacephalon on this team. I think I can use it well, and I think that's the most important part here. With basically anything in this draft, it's just keeping my can I use them on well. The only thing is now Blacephalon and Mewtwo and Tapu Lele are all sharing that dark type weakness, so I'm really going to need Hawlucha to come in clutch and beat those pesky dark types. But Blacephalon is really nice in the fact that it counters the psychic types that can reverse sweep me with psychic terrain. Blacephalon is one of my Z users here. We ended up being able to pick 2 Z users. If Weavile was on my original draft, I probably would have picked Weavile plus Lando T, but technically Weavile is not on my draft right now, so I think the third best option on my team was Blacephalon, simply because of Z Mind Blown, which is going to hit super hard with a modest max special attack set, which can really decimate almost any mon. So that was the main reason for picking Z Blacephalon. Talked about it with Lando earlier. Z moves with Lando is just amazing. It has a lot of coverage, Flying MZ, and the Rock type Z move from Continental Crush. Both of those just hit so hard off a stab base 145 attack. So that's the main reason for picking Landorus Therian as a Zmon. And now at this point, we're getting to the tail end of 3 picks. My tail end picks, which are 3. My thought process from here is I was going to pick up Dragonite. Dragonite, while adding another 4 times weakness and adding a 4 times weakness I already had with Lando, it provides a really good dragon type here. And that's something I wanted in this draft. Thinking about it, I probably should have got Dragonite before Fortress and left Fortress for like round 7. But I ended up not doing that. And I really thought Dragonite was going to get back to me. I really did. But unfortunately, Danza ended up picking that. So I didn't get to have Dragonite. And this kind of set me into like a frantic mode because I really didn't know what to pick from here. Honestly, there were 4 things that I really needed on this draft. I needed another Rock Setter. I needed a bulky Dark type to take those Psychic hits. I needed a Dragon type. And I needed a Grass type. I wasn't going to get one of those. One of those I was going to be stuck without getting. And it was a really hard time for me deciding which one not to get. I still don't know if I made the right decision. I'll spoil it right now. The decision I ended up going with was not drafting a Dragon type. This is because a Dragon typing really doesn't add that much to my team with the resistances that I already had. And it really came down where I think I really needed a Grass type and I really needed a bulky Dark type. So it ended up coming down to Diancie or a Dragon type. The dragon type probably would have been Druddigon if I'm being honest with what I would have picked, because Druddigon provides rocks for my team. The idea here is I just think Diancie adds more to the overall team dynamic. This is the other 4x weakness I was talking about. But I don't think it's as big of a deal because I have Lando has a good seal switch in, I have Cephalon, I have Fortress. So that's not as much as a problem. I think with Diamond Storm it's just really good, and it has amazing defense, amazing special defense, and don't sleep on its attack and special attack stat. That's also really high. It's a good Trick Room mon. I can use next gen meta with Trick Room, Fortress, Diancie, and Rotom. Could be cool. You never know. You might see that coming. Uh, that's something that's really cool. They can set up screens, and it really adds that other Stealth Rocks mod, which is something I really wanted. I ended up finding out that I did snipe Stab with this pick, a really hard snipe with that. Sorry to Stab, nice guy. Sorry I had to do it, but I think I really needed Diancie for this team. Then again, I might be thinking about that in a few weeks. I might think I need a Dragon type, in which hopefully Stab's doors are always open, and maybe we can trade. Maybe he can drop something for Druddigon and then trade me Druddigon for Diancie. You don't know. Maybe that could always happen. Coming into the tail end, I really knew what I wanted at this point. I needed a bulky dark and I needed a grass type. Looking at the board, I kind of already knew what grass type I wanted, and I really didn't think any team was going to take this mon. So I decided I was going to leave it to the last round, which meant in round 8, I was going to be taking a bulky dark type. The really only 2 bulky dark types left in the draft were Umbreon and Mandibuzz. And when I was thinking of which mon to draft, I ended up going with Mandibuzz. This is for a few reasons. First of all, Mandibuzz is less passive than Umbreon, and as a hyper offensive player, I really don't like passive mons. Then again, I'm not saying Mandibuzz isn't passive. I'm just saying it's less passive than Umbreon would have been, because I have Air Slash, Brave Bird, Dark Pulse. Then I also have amazing support moves like Defog. I got knockoff here. I can set up a nasty plot set and try to sweep with that. I got some. I got taunt. We got Tailwind here. We again have U-turn. It's not as slow as some of the other mons on my team, but it's still a nice U-turn that I can go with. I got Whirlwind here, Toxic. I mean, Mandibuzz is just a solid mon overall. It's really just coming down to seeing how I can use Mandibuzz, because I don't know if Mandibuzz personally will be a mon I'm able to use really well, but I'm excited to try it out, and hopefully we can work some magic with this. And finally, the final mon that I decided to grab for the squad was Roserade as that grass type. The main thing I was picking between was Roserade and Amoonguss. The reason I ended up going with Roserade at the end was because of spikes. As I said with Fortress before, spikes and hazards generally with this team is really, really nice. And that was one of the reasons I wanted Diancie. Because Fortress, Diancie, and Roserade, if I can basically set up stealth rocks or spikes or T-spikes with any of them, it really just opens the door for Mega Mewtwo Y, Tapu Lele, Landorus, Therian, Weavile, Hawlucha, or Blacephalon to just come in and sweep. So that's really the plan with this draft. Set up hazards with a few members of my team, come in with something once everything is chipped down, and just try to sweep and just try to hit until I ended up beating the other team. So that's really the plan with this draft. So I kind of forgot to run through what mons are shiny and not. So I'll just do that quickly right now. Mewtwo, shiny. Tapu Lele, shiny. Lando, normal. Weavile, normal. Hawlucha, shiny. Rotom, normal. Fortress, normal. Blacephalon, normal. Diancie, shiny. Mandibuzz, let's check what this shiny sprite looks quickly. Mandibuzz will probably be shiny. I'm digging that shiny sprite. And then Roserade will definitely be shiny. So that's how each of those will look. And again, you'll see nicknames as they end up being brought to the games. So now if we can go over and we can look at the overall picture for my team. This is how my team looks right now. But let's look how the team will look when I have Weavile on it. So that's the actual team, in my opinion. I like it. I don't think it's one of the best drafts I've had, and I really think it's an orthodox draft. But I think I can work with it. I really like the idea of having Fortress, Roserade, and Diancie there to set up. Having Fortress and Rotom and Mandibuzz being there to just U-turn and Volt Switch around, and then bringing in one of my hard hitters, Blacephalon, Mewtwo, Tapu Lele, Halucha, Weavile, Orlando, and just coming in and trying to win with those guys. I think it keeps true to my hyper offensive background with having the 6 mons that can really just hit hard and win, but it also adds a new dynamic. And as I said in the beginning of this video, I'm here to learn and I'm here to improve as much as I can. And I don't want to stick to the roots that I've basically established for myself. Because while I have done well in drafts in the past, I've never been in something that's had the competition of the Stab League before. And I really want, I don't think that all the experience I've had from the past is going to be able to help me just win this league. I really need to learn from my opponents here. I need to learn how to play new play styles. I need to learn, and I think by adding new mons that I normally wouldn't get to this draft plan will help me. Of course, while that's awesome in theory, I do think it's important to have mods I'm comfortable with. And to be honest, the only mods that I feel really, really comfortable with coming into, out of this draft is Mega Mewtwo Y and Weavile. So there very well could be trades happening to this draft. While I do like it a lot, it might be something that I'll have to tweak over time. But with the general flow, as much as I kind of made it look like I didn't love it during the draft analysis, I do think it's really good. Uh, I am really looking forward to using it, but most importantly, I'm looking forward to being in the Stab League. I'm looking forward to playing all these amazing players. I'm just looking forward to really denting my way into the draft universe. As a lot of you know, my goal is to get into the MPL minors one day, and I think this is really my first step, and this is where I start. And it might not be winning the Stab League, it might not be even making playoffs in the Stab League. Participating in the Stab League, giving it 100,000,000%, and trying my hardest is what I think will get me to my goals. And I don't think I'm going to do anything but that in this season. That's what I'm here to do, and that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to try my hardest every single game. Whether I win, whether I lose, I'm going to be trying my hardest, and I'm going to be trying to succeed. So I'd like to thank all of you guys for watching. This is the first upload on my channel. I hope you guys sub. I know this is a really long upload, but check the Stab League out. Hopefully we'll have other Draft League content in the future. Uh, I'll be posting my week 1 game probably in a week to 2 weeks from now, since we're working on a 2-week schedule with Stab. Again, I'd like to thank all of you guys for watching. It's been a pleasure. Horse293 signing out, guys. Bye.